Okay, so we got the Good Morning Football crew going over the NFC Championship game quarterback matchup. I'm kind of interested to see what these guys are saying.
I feel like 2 years ago, we were talking about the next great NFL quarterback and superstar being Jalen Hurts. He was starting in a Super Bowl, and he actually had one of the greatest Super Bowl performances you could ever ask for. They lost the game, but out of that Super Bowl, we all were like, that's the guy. That's the guy in this conference moving forward. I will also say, though, he got paid. And if you look at the 4 quarterbacks remaining, and I'll give Front Office Sports, the website that I have a newsletter from, they sent this out today, and I thought this was interesting. Jalen Hurts makes $51 million a year, and among the 4 quarterbacks left in the NFL postseason, that's the most. So he got paid. He got treated like he was that dude. He was everything. And yet, when you watch the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles, it sure feels like Saquon's leading the way, and the defense is really good, and we're going to talk about the offensive line and defensive lines plenty. Jayden Daniels? Jayden Daniels is that dude, and he's the one that it's him versus the world, and it's fair to say that. Vic Fangio's not alone here. I think it's the greatest rookie season we've ever seen from a quarterback. We can do that 35 ways and show how, and my whole thing is the clutch play at the clutch moment in the biggest games. I love stats, I do, but in a fantasy football world, that to me gets diluted when you have 18 games and you also have these passing offenses. It's hard to compare.
Yeah.
What I do know is wins and losses and clutch moments, there's no one better in football this season than this guy. They have 6 different wins in the final 30 seconds or in overtime, and a lot of those wins are with him throwing the ball and not just setting up for a field goal. Jalen Hurts was the prince that was promised, and he still can get that Super Bowl ring. It doesn't feel the same way as it did 2 years ago, just because of the way this team has been operating all season long. Jayden Daniels, if they're going to beat the Eagles in Philly, it's because he's going to be a superhuman and can do some Herculean effort, something that he's done about a dozen times already this season.
It's crazy for me, too, that a rookie quarterback is now playing in his 20th game of the season. You know, he's supposed to be done 6, 7 games, even at LSU. It's nuts, and he's still playing that well. I talk about Jalen Hurts, too. I think he is the most interesting player all weekend. We can have Mahomes and Allen and all. Jayden is great. Jalen Hurts is fascinating because he is starting his 2nd title game. He makes the playoffs every single year, and there's this general perception from Philadelphia that's like, meh. Who is this guy? Is he our guy? It's an amazing thing that all he does is win, and there's still a meh to him. And it's not. A lot of it has to do with how incredible Saquon is, and it's not even this thing though where it's like Saquon is Jordan and Jalen's Pippen. Like he's not. He's looked at as like Bill Cartwright. Just be there and get some rebounds and just play your role. It's not like Saquon is Batman and Jalen is Robin. It's like Jalen is Alfred. Like get Batman breakfast and like get him dressed and then go do whatever you're going to do. Sudoku. I just think at this game, a coach like Dan Quinn, a defensive coach through and through, there is no way he's going to say anything other than, guys, if we go down in Philly, we are not going down because we have front row seats to another Saquon Barkley track meet. We're not going to do it. We're going to do everything short of parking the team bus in front of the D-line in front of Saquon. Saquon, by the way, who 2 games against the Commanders went for 296 and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, not bad.
Ridiculous. So Quinn's going to be like, listen, Saquon, we have to do everything. 8 in the box, 9 in the box, 11. I don't care. We have to make Jalen Hurts beat us, especially now that Jalen Hurts is hurt. He's not even the same. His knee's all busted up. So you got this idea as an Eagles fan, and certainly as the Eagles offensive coach is right, we got to get the passing game. We got to do it finally. And yet, do they? There's this weird thing that over Jalen Hurts' career, if you follow this, he is 4-3 in the playoffs. He has 4 wins, 3 losses. In the 4 wins, he goes for 135 yards passing. 135, that's the average. In the 3 losses, he goes for 270, exactly double. So in those games when he gets the passing game going or has to get the passing, they lose, including in the Super Bowl. So there's this tracker online you can follow that will he get to 135? That is the point of no return. If he goes over 135 passing, pretty modest numbers, he's going to lose. So it's all over the place. It's like you want Jalen to get the passing game going, sort of, but if Jalen is getting big passing numbers, it's because Saquon's getting stuffed. It is such an interesting game. And my bottom line is that a player who's made the playoffs every year as a starter and is starting his 2nd title game in that media market is still looked at as like, hello, McFly, are you awake? Do you want to do anything for us? It's a strange relationship that I think he has a chance to really take one way or another this weekend. Have the hero game and Jalen Hurts and Saquon's getting stuffed. You're a Philadelphia legend. You're starting your second Super Bowl. Collapse, limp around, your knees hurt, you can't save Saquon. You're going to be looked down upon for a long time. I think he has a lot at stake this week, and most interesting player in the league for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's an interesting take. Kind of reminds me of Brock Purdy and the 49ers. And who did Brock Purdy have? He had Christian McCaffrey. I almost said Ed. So it's just kind of interesting. We have like back-to-back years of, is the quarterback good enough? Is the quarterback good enough when the team is making it to the Super Bowl? It's just kind of weird. I think there's plenty of other teams that would love to be in the position that the Eagles are in. Plenty of other fan bases. So it's just kind of weird that this is going on. I think Jalen Hurts is good. I think he's a beast. I think that I don't get all the knocks on him. I don't get the knocks against him. I think that he's good. He's not Allen and Mahomes, but or Lamar or Burrow, but he's probably right underneath those guys. Would you really rather have Matthew Stafford over Jalen Hurts right now? I wouldn't. I wouldn't rather have Herbert over Jalen Hurts. That's just as far as Jayden Daniels goes. Okay, say they pull off the upset and they go to the Super Bowl. They were talking earlier about the contract and how Hurts is the highest paid quarterback. Would you give Daniels a new contract if they get to the Super Bowl after one rookie season? That's a tough ask. What if he holds out next year? What if they get to the Super Bowl? Not necessarily wins. Let's just say he gets there and he holds out and he wants a new contract. You got to pay him. If you beat Jalen Hurts, who's making over $50 million a year, he's got an argument. I don't know. What do you do? What do you do in that situation? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.